something better than before, especially the transport operators. It means that a lot of people, being aware of the road traffic regulation, are adhering to traffic regulation more than before. Then the agencies too are doing better than they used to do, especially with the police with their Operation Parry and Pie, which put a check on driving recklessly and then motorcycle recklessness. National Road Safety Authority and other agencies the commercial vehicles more often because we have data on them. They are well organized. We are finding ways of getting them together either through corporate engagement or go to the churches and the mosques more and engage those who are private drivers. Because we see that the commercial drivers, they are under management and we direct the management to monitor their activities and sanction them. But the private driver, nothing of that sort is going on. That's why they are at liberty to be more indisciplined on the road than the commercial vehicle. But the thing too is that when one commercial vehicle gets into a crash, there is likely to be more fatalities than in the private vehicle. Yeah. More collaboration with transport operators and unions, MTTD, Bloomberg, CAT International, SOHI, all the like, so that everybody will bring on board under the auspices of the Stay Alive campaign, whatever we have to do. The National Road Safety Authority with its stakeholders are poised to sustain the gains we've made. And so we are cautioning all road users to be disciplined and all duty bearers to do their work responsibly so that we will gradually eradicate, if not totally eradicate, reduce crashes in the country so that we can be counted among the best road traffic management countries in the world.
Let's look at trade now. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has called on the business community to respond positively to the changing trend in business and adjust prices to reflect the decline in inflation. On Wednesday, the Ghana Statistical Service announced the March inflation at 45% from the previous month's 52.8%.
The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has applauded the government and the Bank of Ghana for working towards reducing the cost of doing business. This, GUTA indicates, has been evident with the decline in inflation and the improvement in the exchange rate. In a release by the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, the efforts by government can only be sustained if factors such as the appreciation of the cedi is also sustained, customs valuation rate is adjusted to reflect the current trends, and the monetary policy rate is reduced by the central bank to give meanings to the gains chalked so far. The association also called on the government to manage speculations in order not to reverse the positive gains made so far. GUTA entreated all members of the business community to respond positively to the changing trends and adjust their prices to reflect the exchange rate and the decline in inflation.
Now, the Organization of African Trade Union Unity, OATUU, has marked its 50th anniversary in Accra with a call on trade unions to protect and affirm the independence and identity of African trade unions at all levels. The president of the union, Dr. Francis Atwoli, urged heads of states to assist in developing a roadmap for the marketing of AU's Agenda 2063 framework.
OATO was founded in April 1973 at Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to replace the former All-African Trade Union Federation and the African Trade Union Confederation. OATO includes 73 affiliate national trade union organizations with over 50 million members. It aims at building a trade union unity on the African continent and supports African workers by representing their interests. Since 2022, the OATO has been collaborating with the ILO to be an exclusive and overarching organization. Its 4 regional sub-organizations include the Organization of Trade Unions of West Africa, Organization of Trade Unions of Central Africa, Southern Africa Trade Union Coordinating Council, and the Organization of Trade Unions of Arab Maghreb. OATO strives to promote social and economic justice in Africa through projects that combat HIV/AIDS, fund women empowerment in the workplace, and support democratization efforts in African nations. At its 50th anniversary in Accra, the president of ILO Global Workers Group, Madame Paschier Cataline, said for trade unions to thrive, women must be allowed to hold key positions. The General Secretary of TUC, Dr. Anthony Barr, said over the years, the government has supported OATO, headquartered in Ghana. Currently, its staff is on government payroll, and a request to recruit more technical staff has been granted. The Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Mr. Ignatius Bafwewa, said OATO is one of the living legacies of Pan-Africanism. He said, in Ghana, both the government and labour collaborate in the interest of workers.
Artificial intelligence is taking over the workspace. People can live in the United States and take jobs here in Ghana. People can live here in Ghana and take jobs in Nigeria. We live in the global village where knowledge is very competitive. So to what extent are we preparing ourselves to meet this world of work which is changing?
The president of OATO, Dr. Francis Atuoli, appealed to heads of states not to harass trade unions in their various countries, an act he said must be discouraged, citing incidents in some countries.
Under the International Labour Organization ILO Convention number 144, governments are compelled, not through begging, to work closely with employers and workers, and to consult prior to any changes in the labor sector of their respective countries. So we are asking Swaziland and unlike government that they still oppress workers, to know that Africa in totality, in entirety, is free and independent.
The 50th anniversary is on a theme: fidelity, unity and action for decent life for African workers.
Let's do finances now. There's some good news for Ghana as the IMF Managing Director, Kristalina Georgieva, has announced that there will be discussions between creditors and the government of Ghana by next week. Ghana is seeking a $3 billion bailout from the IMF, but she needs financing assurances from creditors, including China and the private sector.
MD, it appears that your outfit is putting out a strong case for Ghana, which is well appreciated. However, the 32 million people in Ghana right now are awaiting that announcement by your board. Please, where are we?
Let me say that we have been in constant contact with the authorities in Ghana. We have worked very hard and very swiftly to have the program for Ghana, $3 billion support program for Ghana in place. We have been urging Ghana's creditors. My appreciation for also the proactive role of the Minister of Finance of Ghana in reaching out to creditors. We are expecting that next week there will be discussions among creditors, and I can tell you that I use every opportunity myself to urge them to act swiftly. Let's remember that Ghana for a long time has done really well to tap markets to finance its growth path. It has been like all innocent bystanders hit by COVID, hit by the war in Ukraine, and it has complicated domestically the ability to finance the budget. So a country that has long track record of sound macroeconomic management ought to be supported to return to markets. So our program is a bridge for Ghana, and to tell you the truth, I'm actually quite optimistic. I think Ghana is going to move. The creditors are going to move, and we are going to move swiftly. So I guess the short answer to you is stay tuned and stay positive.
Now, to fresh revelations in classified documents on the international front. According to fresh revelations in classified documents leaked online, the U.S. believes the UN Secretary General is too willing to accommodate Russian interests. The file suggests Washington has been closely monitoring Antonio Guterres.
Describe private communications involving Mr. Guterres and his deputy. It is the latest from a leak of secret documents which U.S. officials are scrambling to get to the bottom of. The documents contain candid conversations from Mr. Guterres about the war in Ukraine and a number of African leaders. One leaked document focuses on the Black Sea grain deal brokered by the UN and Turkey in July following fears of a global food crisis. It suggests that Mr. Guterres was so keen to preserve the deal that he was willing to accommodate Russia's interest. The document says Mr. Guterres emphasized his efforts to improve Russia's ability to export, involves sanctioned Russian entities or individuals. His actions in February, according to the assessment, were undermining broader efforts to hold Moscow accountable for its actions in Ukraine. UN officials bristled at the suggestion that the world's top diplomat was being soft on Moscow, saying he wouldn't comment on leaked documents. One senior official said the UN was driven by the need to mitigate the impact of the war on the world's poorest. Russia has frequently complained that its own exports of grain and fertilizer are being adversely affected by international sanctions and has threatened at least twice to suspend cooperation with the grain deal unless its concerns are addressed. Russian grain and fertilizer are not subject to international sanctions, but Russia says it has experienced difficulties with securing shipping and insurance. UN officials are clearly unhappy with the interpretation of Mr. Guterres' efforts, and they say that Mr. Guterres has made his opposition to Russia's war very clear.
Let's bring you to Africa. Nigerian Information Minister Lai Mohammed says President-elect Bola Tinubu will be sworn in on 29th May 2023 despite court cases challenging his victory. Groups dissatisfied by the outcome of the 25th February presidential election are agitating for an interim government as outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari officially leaves office in May.
Nigerian Information Minister Lai Mohammed said there was no basis for the constitution of an interim government. He said the opposition political parties have the right to challenge the presidential election in court. 4 presidential candidates filed legal challenges on March 21 against Mr. Tinubu's victory, alleging widespread rigging and manipulation of tallies. About 8 months for the judiciary to determine a presidential election petition. The petition must be heard within 180 days from the day it is filed. A petitioner can appeal the tribunal's judgment at the Court of Appeal within 21 days for the decision date. If petitioners are dissatisfied with the appellate court decision, which is delivered within 60 days, they have 21 days to appeal it at the Supreme Court, whose decision is final.
Now, a 21-year-old U.S. Air Force National Guardsman has been arrested over a leak of classified military intelligence that's rattled the U.S. and its allies. Jack Teixeira, who reportedly shared the files in an online gaming chat room, faces charges under the Espionage Act. Aerial footage showed officers making an arrest at Mr. Teixeira's family home in Dayton, Massachusetts. The documents he leaked revealed the war in Ukraine and the U.S. spying on allies. Footage of the arrest in the town of 8,000 people about an hour south of Boston shows a young man believed to be Mr. Texera walking backwards with his hands raised to armed FBI officers. He was handcuffed and led to a vehicle. Roads in the area were blocked by police officers during the arrest. Mr. Texera is expected to make his first court appearance in Boston on Friday. He was listed as a member of the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard base at OT Air National Guard base in Western Cape Cod. Now, Mr. Texera joined the force in 2019. His official title is Cyber Transport Systems Journeyman, and he holds the rank of Airman First Class, a relatively junior position. In a brief statement on Thursday, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said the suspect had been taken into custody without notice. And the commodities market. How is the Friday weather going to fare? Let's get to know from our meteorologist, Felicity Ahafianyo from GMET. Good morning, Felicity.
Good morning, Multiti. How are you?
I am good. How about you?
I am much better today than yesterday.
Great. Fair weather conditions across the country for the weekend and today?
Not really. Part of it is going to have rain and thunderstorms. Going to stay mostly fair.
Right. Take it away.
Okay. Thanks so much for the opportunity. This morning, we are having a rainstorm moving over the coast. So we are expecting Aflau, Accra, Kasua, Cape Coast, Accra, the Appeal, Hope, Florida, Chimda, Kumasi, Wasi, Takwa to have rain with thunderstorms this morning. We are having 40 to 60% chance. But it's also likely that some portions will just have the clouds without the rain, but some areas will have the clouds, the rain, and the thunder. Those of us over the north, we don't expect any rain because they had theirs last night due to the storm. We expect it to stay partly cloudy throughout. That will take their temperatures as high as 38 over most parts of the north. The middle sector will also see a bit partly cloudy, but in the afternoon, area is still on the forecast list as having 40% chance of rain in the afternoon into the evening hours. For Greater Accra this evening, it's pretty cool for any Friday night out. We can go and then exercise our legs by dancing. The atmosphere will be fair, and then the temperatures will also be cool. But those of us over Gosu, Sunyani, Techima, Yendi, Tamalipoli, Tamango, Bogatanga, and Wa, we have a 60% chance of rain and thunderstorms. So we should watch out. If there need be, we should cancel our Friday night and rather push it to tomorrow, Saturday. The state of the sea is expected to be rough. We are having some patches of rain and thunder clouds. Fisher folks can go, but they have to navigate very well. Water Lake this morning is having cloudy situation, so fisher folks have to be extra the moderate and the severe winds portions have passed, but then they have to be a bit careful so that they don't get themselves affected or injured in the course of their activities. Tomorrow, Saturday, is strictly cool for any outdoor activities, but late afternoon into the evening hours, we expect pockets of rain and thunderclouds over the mountainous areas. Sunday, the day will be cool for us to do our Sunday activities, but late afternoon into the evening hours, we are expecting isolated to scattered cases of rain and thunder across the country. So if it's going to cause any havoc, we will release a weather warning to that effect.
Thank you so much, Felicity Ahafianyo. If there's going to be any havoc, they will give a weather warning. And the social media handles are also active. You'd want to go there and know how the weather will fare. She did say that today, some showers, the northern belt will experience 60% chance of rainfall. And so just be cautious out there and be safe. That's it for GTV Breakfast News. I am Multi Saida Sadiq. I'll be back at 7 with sports. Up next is how to use artificial intelligence to make